Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to another installment on This Day with Christy. Howdy. Today is Friday, July 24th, 2026. This being Friday, we recap what we talked about Monday and Wednesday and learn some new stuff along the way about today. So let's hop in our magic van, pop in some tunes, and go for a ride. Monday's recap on This Day in Music. Back in 2017, rock fans around the globe were shocked to hear of Linkin Park's frontman Chester Bennington's took his own life at the age of 41. In 1976, Buzzcocks took to the stage for the first time, playing to support headliners Sex Pistols and Slaughter and the Dogs at Manchester's Lesser Free Trade Hall. It only cost £1 to get in to see them, and there were some influential people in that audience, such as Morrissey, future Joy Division members Bernard Sumner and Peter Hook, soon-to-be Fall founder Mark and Smith, and eventually Simply Red main man Mick Hucknall. This one I chose from my mama. In 1963, Jan and Dean Surf City began a 2-week run at the top of the Billboard Hot 100. And now she can see them in person. In 1975, Stevie Van Zandt performed his first show as a member of the Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band at Providence, Rhode Island's Palace Theater. It was opening night for the Born to Run tour. And in 1940, Billboard magazine published its first chart of the best-selling records compiled from sales figures contributed by all of the major record labels. Next, we hop out in our magic van, go finding facts with factoids. We celebrated Moon Day and Space Exploration Day. If you moon somebody, make sure you cover your face so they never know who it was. And in 2001, Japanese anime fantasy film Spirited Away was released. It had a budget of $5 million and took in $347.7 million at the box office. In 1997, USS Constitution set sail for the first time after being in dry dock for 116 years. It was also known as Old Ironsides. In 1944, Adolf Hitler survived an assassination attempt. A group of German officials detonated 7 bombs near his headquarters. Now we travel in time to Wednesday, July 22nd. We start our trip in 1974. Elvis Costello released his first debut album. Obviously, if it's his debut, it's a first. Anywho, his debut album, My Aim Is True, in the UK via Stiff Records. He was accompanied by members of the country rock band Clover. In 2006, the late great Johnny Cash scored the second and final chart-topping LP of his career with the Rick Rubin produced America via 100 Highways, released nearly 4 years after his death. In 1989, American singer and actress Marita scored a sole U.S. chart topper with Toy Soldiers, a song about drug addiction. That was a number 5 smash hit in the UK. She attracted the attention of Prince, who worked with her in 1991 on her second and final album, Marita's Kitchen. In 2019, Queen's iconic Bohemian Rhapsody video reached 1 billion, yes with a B, views on YouTube, making it the first pre-1990s visuals to reach the milestone on the platform. It was also named the most Googled song of 2018. Time to head to Factoid Town. It was known as Mango Day and Hammock Day. I could enjoy some mango laying in a hammock somewhere by something cool, like the ocean. Anyhow, in 2012, 23, the Good Vibes Festival was canceled after 1957's lead singer kissed his bandmate on stage in protest of Malaysia's anti-LGBTQIA+ laws. Malaysia being mostly Muslim, homosexuality was criminalized. In 2019, Marvel's Avengers Endgame became the most financially successful movie of all time. Sorry, I love that. I'm a Marvel nerd. On the day, the movie grossed $2.79 billion, yes, again with a B, dollars. And I went to see it, so yeah, I know it was awesome. Anyhow, actually I don't remember it, but that's another story. In 2018, a deadly heat wave in Japan killed at least 65 people and more than 22,000 were hospitalized. The temperature was 106 degrees Fahrenheit for a few days. In 1991, my favorite subject, serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer admitted to killing 17 people, 11 of whom were found in his house of horrors, and though he admitted it, he pled not guilty at his trial. He was sentenced to 15 life terms. In 1943, Palermo, Sicily, was liberated by the U.S. forces. Now it's time for today. Yay! In 1976, Elton John scored his first #1 hit in the UK with Don't Go Breaking My Heart, a retro-flavored duet with Kiki D, written by Elton and longtime collaborator Bernie Taupin, under the pseudonyms Ann Orson and Carte Blanche. That was a good one. The upbeat track paid homage to Motown's classic duets, including Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. The song, which was originally earmarked for Dusty Springfield, became a global hit for Elton and Kiki, topping the charts in the US, South Africa, Canada, Australia, and many more countries. In 1994, John recorded the song with drag queen RuPaul on his duet album. That's pretty cool. In 2003, the Mark Romanek directed visual for Johnny Cash's Hurt, his haunting revamp of the Nine Inch Nails number, earned 6 MTV Video Award nominations. The video won Best Cinematography, making the 71-year-old Cash the oldest artist to receive a VMA. He died 2 weeks later. That's sad. Anyhow, in 1982, the Chicago rock band Survivor topped the Billboard Hot 100 with Eye of the Tiger, plucked from the soundtrack of Sylvester Stallone's Rocky III movie. The now classic record spent 6 weeks at the #1 and later picked up a Grammy Award for Best Rock Performance. It also topped the UK singles charts. In 1977, Led Zeppelin played their final concert in the U.S. at California Oakland's Alameda County Coliseum. The British hard rock group cut short their North American tour after frontman Robert Plant learned that his 5-year-old son, Karak, had died. Okay, folks, it's time to hop back in our magic van and have some fun with facts. Today is drive-through day and tell an old joke day. In 2024, Inside Out 2 became the highest grossing animated film ever, earning $1.462 billion worldwide, again with the billions, and surpassing Frozen 2, which previously held the record with $1.453 billion. That's just a crazy amount of money. Anyhow, in 2020, Taylor Swift released her 5th studio album, Folklore. It was released as a surprise with little to no with little to no promotion, was conceived during the early 2020 COVID-19 lockdowns. In 2018, after introducing a preservation project, 3 bison calves were born in Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada. It had been 140 years since bison had been birthed in the wild. That's crazy. That's sad too. Just shows what people are doing to the earth. Anyway, let's get out of that depressingness. In 1984, George Michael released his Careless Whisper single. It became a huge success, selling around 6 million copies worldwide, with 1/3 of them being in the US. In 1975, luxury fashion brand Giorgio Armani was founded in Milan, Italy. Last but not least, in 1958, Boston Red Sox player Ted Williams was fined $250 for spitting on a fan. Thanks for being a fan. Anywho, time to put on our thinking caps because it's time for trivia. Question: which boxer could float like a butterfly and sting like a bee? Answer: Muhammad Ali. Part 2 question: what was Muhammad Ali's real name? Answer: Cassius Clay. Question: which video game company created the character Princess Zelda? Answer: Nintendo. And bonus question: Creator, Friends, and Classic are product lines for what toy company? I did not know this one. Lego. Okay, it's time to take off our... Sorry about my phone going crazy. Time to take off our thinking caps and put on our party hats because it's time for birthdays. 1942, Heinz Burt. 1951, Linval Golding. 1953, Gary Scheider. 1957, Larry Gott. 1957, Pam Tillis. 1958, Mick Karn. 1961, Paul Geary. 1970, Jennifer Lopez. 1973, Ladybug Mecca. And 1990, Jay McGinnis. If it was your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If it's your birthday this weekend, have a great one. Stay safe. Don't forget, you can get us here 7 days a week with Brian the Brock Stone on WCDI. And don't forget to check out Top Rope for every Sunday and Wednesday. Have a good day, y'all. Ciao.